Hello and welcome to another episode of the Glassbreakers Guild here on Casual Cactus. We've been away for a minute. There were unavoidable delays, but we're back. We are short one player, but we are still here to have fun, play some D&D, and bring you guys along with us. We're going to drag you kicking and screaming into the fun. Few quick announcements before we get started. As always, you can keep tabs on our broadcast schedule using our Discord server. When I update it, sometimes I don't. This was one of those weeks. But generally speaking, I try and let you guys know when we are going to be broadcasting using the Discord server. So be sure you check that out. And likewise, you can also go to YouTube and find all of the episodes we've ever done, except the last one, because I didn't update that either. But everything does eventually wind up on YouTube, so you can go out there, see what we've done, see if you like, our play style. Try to get caught up on the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of video content that we put out there.
That's
good luck. Healthy. Take it as a challenge. Or don't. I don't care. But if you're over there, do hit like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications, and you will know when I do eventually upload stuff from previous episodes. That's, I think, covers all of the boilerplate announcements I normally make before we start this thing. So I will kick it over to the table, and whoever would like to do our recap for the episode that's missing.
Either you can do it. You can do it.
No.
All right, Braden, looks like it's down to you.
That's fair.
Looks like it's down to you, my friend.
Wait. Last time.
Yeah. That's not going to work. We'll go here.
Last time, evening had set on the first night of Killian in the dungeon of the cloister that we were trying to infiltrate. Let's see. We let Akarai know what we had done that day, but also Akarai talks with Simi and shares that he spoke with her father and gives her a letter from him.
Oh, yeah.
She reads it. The rest of the table doesn't know what it says other than Keith.
Does not.
Lucas prepares to dream to Killian. Artis and Dominic walk and talk, discussing about family, life, alt, art, culture. The dream does work. It does make its way through to the dungeon, and Lucas is able to speak with Killian. Briefly, of course. And then Lucas gets schematics downloaded into his brain for Spelljammers.
Yep.
His head hurts. And then there's an effed badger basement. He then wakes up in pain. Artis and Dominic split up by the time they get to the cloister, going about their own separate businesses. Dominic visits his family cottage. When suddenly the watchtower bell rings once and is then silent. Artemis decides to go in to investigate, taking a boat ride over, and goes to investigate the sort of like small... Is it peninsula or an island?
It's an island.
An island. The guards inside are dead. One has its throat slit, and the other one has crossbow bolts to the back. Artemis then decides to sound the alarm bell loudly. The dock interrupts in panic. Workers, sailors, and guards start to go crazy, trying to figure out what was going on. And then slowly the whole city begins to wonder what's happening. And then Simi sees the Armada on the horizon and starts getting the crowd looking over towards it and talking as well. Artemis gets back to the dock. Then, after talking to Simi, he decides to go to the cloister to let them know what was going on. Simi decided to go grab Lucas, and both her and Lucas decided to go talk to Cassius to find Akarai to let him know. And for the first time, the cloister's front gate is closed. After talking his way through, letting him in, he goes to a high echelon meeting of the heads of the cloister in Rosk's office, which includes Rosk, Odessa Corell, and what is probably the head of the Inquisition. Lucas and Simi get back to Cassius's house. We talk to Akarai and Cassius about the Marta, and then Cassius initiates Code Midnight. And then Cassius turns into a dragon. An amethyst dragon.
To be fair, he was always a dragon. He was just disguised as something that was not.
Yep. And then flies away with Akarai, Simi, and Lucas. Meanwhile, Artemis grabs Dominic, and both look up to see the dragon, which has now appeared right above the cloister, and the both of them prep for what's to come. Cassius sets all three of them down on the roof, which has a door which Lucas interfaces with, and all three of them enter onto the bridge of the tower, or the Spelljammer. Cassius presses a button, and Killian is awakened. Red alert, man station, engineering. Killian is then allowed to exit his cell and goes to engineering. All of the doors open for him on the way, and on the bottom of level of the prison or dungeon is the engineering room, where Killian sits on a chair. The running of a diagnostic. We find out that Cassius is a quote-unquote Class 3 entity. And the Spelljammer has the designation and is led by Captain Lucas Shadowkeeper, apparently. So Lucas is now sort of been given charge. Killian tests some of the capabilities of the engineering room, which is also setting up a communication between the bridge and engineering. Killian then goes to have a meeting at Rosk's room, meeting up with Artemis and Dominic as they're going up, and gives them crew access. And then Lucas has the tower lock all main exits for the tower. And that is where we left off.
All right. Anybody have anything they want to add to that?
No, that sounds right.
Okay. So, Lucas will be doing things below decks, apparently. Not Lucas.
Artemis?
Artemis will be
Yes.
doing things below decks, apparently out of sight and off screen for tonight's episode. But he has initiated a lockdown of the tower, so part of that comes with a somewhat subtle shift of the lighting inside the tower.
All the lights go red.
Not red, yellow, but you know, same idea. And all of the windows sort of get this hazy sort of blue field over them. The doors slam shut and lock, and all of the guards in the tower are suddenly like, "What the hell is going on?"
Oh boy.
Oh.
Right.
Good thing
Dominic,
Artemis is
I
gonna
think
be
you
done.
were with
Yeah, it was
Artemis.
with Artemis headed up.
Artemis heading up. Okay. So as I forget which method of heading up were the two.
Oh, he
you
wanted to
used?
take the stairs. He didn't want to take the elevator.
Okay, and you were with him.
Yeah, we were slowly finding our way to try and
Oh
get
yeah,
up to
because
the
I gave you
bridge.
like the light.
Yeah, the light.
To lead you up to the bridge.
Okay.
We got little medallions.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right. Okay. All right. So you are heading up the stairs. At almost every landing, your little lanyard wants you to go to the central shaft, and at almost every landing, Artemis is like, "No," and just keeps going up the stairs.
And then it recalibrates your route. Every single
Recalibrating.
time Google Maps
Every
is
single
like,
time.
hey,
Not
hey,
that
the
it's
freeway, the freeway.
At a certain point, about 4 levels up or so, Artemis does notice what looks like maybe one of the guards got caught in a door that was closing
Oh.
and sort of peels off to go either help them out or push them back into whatever room they're getting locked into. You're not 100% sure. What you doing at that point?
Well, I mean, I might as well just take the quick route. Well, I don't know if it's the quick route.
Okay.
But I'm going to do whatever this thing tells me.
Okay. So so you keep going, and at the next landing, you turn and peel off into the central shaft. You hop off, and you feel a little sort of bubble of something catch you. You get to the center of the central shaft of the tower, and up you go. And as you're looking up, you're moving awfully fast, and that roof is getting awfully close, and before you know it, you blink and you're through it.
Oh, okay.
And almost as soon as you are, you sort of come to a stop, and a pair of doors open in front of you. And in front of you is the bridge of the Spelljammer.
Oh.
Out the door! Oh, thank goodness.
Hi. And I have my basket of just stuff. Hey.
Oh, yeah, you have your picnic basket.
Yes, the basket your mom packed for you.
Oh,
Well,
do come in.
Artemis was freaking
yeah.
out.
Cassius
Yes, please
sort of
do come
waves
in.
you in.
I'll just meander way in. And wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're proud.
Yeah, it's weird to all of us.
Yeah.
Didn't see this coming. This was not how I planned my Monday.
So, what are we? What are we? Is that the question?
What are we?
I believe we are currently the operating crew for this here vessel. Did you see Killian on your way up?
Oh, yeah, he actually gave me the fancy necklace. He was going to go somewhere, do something.
Okay. Well, we know he's heading towards the
Expert help.
the room right below us.
You now are caught up with what I know.
Yep.
And we know he's going to the room right below us, so do we want to join him in that conversation, or
We apparently sound pretty quiet.
do we want...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that was intended as a
I
challenge.
think...
Just
I've had
start
this
shouting
happen
at each
before,
other.
and I'm not real sure why, because nothing in my settings has changed.
Did you offer the machine spirit love and tender care?
Of
No, he
course
didn't
I
give
did.
He didn't give it a sacrifice of putting it upload.
That's the problem.
Yep, didn't do the sacrifice of the upload.
Does make sense.
Uh-oh.
Hold, please. We have doobly doomed.
Nobody's home. No, thank you.
Do you remember that the one ringtone that just kept getting louder and
Oh,
louder?
it would slowly get louder?
I don't remember what it's from, but it's just like it would just rise and sound.
That's the
I know people who would sleep right through that. Holy, really? Oh, I'm gonna have to smack you when we go on our
Yeah, no,
trip.
it's actually
Oh,
a
gonna be
problem.
great.
Is like I can sleep through. I cannot tell you the number of times I've had a dream where I'm like in class or at work and I cannot get my phone to shut up. I've had vivid dreams where in my dream I have taken the battery out of my phone and it is still going off, and it is only after I wake up later that I realize that was my alarm. But if you touch me at all, instantly awake.
Poke.
I remember one time you invited us. That one time at D&D, you invited us, and you were asleep.
Yep.
When we got there.
Yep.
And I think our one friend just tossed his phone in with your MTC wake up music.
Oh yeah, and Logan used the missionary alarm we used on our phone. Oh, that brought back so many memories so
That's
fast, and it
horrible.
was like immediate. I was like, no.
That's evil. It is straight evil.
We tried waking him up.
They
he
did.
wouldn't
They
wake
tried
up.
waking me up, and I was just out.
That's impressive.
I said
Really
it
impressive.
happens sometimes.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a crisis. It's just a thing that he's trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
I'm trying to
Crisis.
figure it out because this is annoying.
But you get to hear about like
Lord,
alarm
Lord.
PTSD.
I was about to say about my sleep habits.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
I always wake up
sorting
for my
things
first
is
alarm.
Same. I
I
think
think that's just how
we're
we
hardwired.
hardwired or however we're taught.
It's true. Like if I
Try
don't wake up that first alarm,
and see if
You
that
know you're
does
never going
anything.
back.
I don't know. No,
Anything changed?
no, not really.
if I don't wake up that first, if I don't hit that first alarm wake up, oh my goodness.
You
It
will
will be. It'll be like whenever your body decides you're awake. If that ever happened,
Why?
Australia would be like, man, I'm not feeling it. Today."
See, now I can just set my heart to go off at a certain
Let's just speed up and like.
Let's
Like,
ratchet
we're
it up
awake
at this
now.
time.
Yep.
That'll be my wake up call.
Kind of what they ended up doing. Between 10 and 6, it's set to 50.
It's always been like a lightning.
So you really did. You really just did. Like, this is my nighttime hours. These are the quiet hours where my heart slows.
I can never understand the people that do snooze maxing.
Oh my.
Where it's just
yeah.
like the alarm set, and for the next hour, they'll hit like
It's just
snooze.
really? It's snooze.
He's not as bad about it as he used to be, but
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Are you a snooze guy?
Oh, you will not be a snooze guy on our trip.
Oh, yeah.
One you get one alarm.
Not on the trip. No, I do this because I don't want to get up for work.
That's
So I had to
Something
learn
he's
to plan
excited
ahead.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be there. See, it wasn't
I
a problem.
wanna be
When we
awake.
were on vacation at Fanex, it wasn't
Oh,
a
that
problem.
is true.
But
Yeah.
it is a problem when I don't want to get up for work, and I'm like, no. Get more sleep. Because also for FanX and Disneyland, I won't be having to wake up at 4 in the morning.
No.
That makes me a lot less
That's
frustrated
so
with
true.
being awake.
I think I'm at 4 o'clock. Sucks.
It's not my favorite.
Didn't you say you were shocked when you found out that I had been doing that for like 2 years? And it's like, Braden, why are you doing?
Well, I was shocked.
Why are we still here at
Yeah,
Danny
I
and
was
Keith
shocked
at like
'cause you were
10:30?
here all that time, and I'm like, dude, I did that like twice, and I was dying at work. What are you?
Dude, I will be.
I suffer for social connections.
I need some. I need them.
Connections.
And we can also meet some other time in the week when it's not past your
We
bedtime.
always say that, but then we're just like, oh, we've got
We've-
stuff going
We've
on.
Friday.
established that unless Braden, Braden won't schedule it. Braden won't be like, hey guys, let's get together. It has to be somebody
That's
else.
true.
I
That's
know.
True. I gotta get better about that.
But look, now we usually do stuff on Fridays. Unless somebody's working nights, then we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, like once I'm done with the show, then I'll just be like, hey, do you guys want to do something on a Thursday? You know, whatever.
And I will tell you, hell no.
You don't get
So
up
not
till
on a
6.
Thursday.
Thursdays, I don't get off work till 6 p.m., but Fridays I work at 6 a.m.
So maybe not.
So I get off
Thursday.
work, I go home, I pop something in the microwave, I eat it, and I go to bed.
Mm.
It is not fun.
We might just be SOL this time. Sorry.
I will have to do some work
Alright.
behind the scenes.
This is
I
going to be
think
the whisper.
There may
Whisper.
have been an update on something.
So everyone project from your diaphragm.
Yes. I think those were your testicles.
No, it sounds different when you project from your testicles.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Now it's not giving me my mic at all.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
My
so
damn mic is gone.
We broke the
do we
damn
need to
thing.
just restart?
I'm gonna restart the stream.
We'll
we
be
will
back.
right
Oh,
back.
please.
Grab your. No. I was like, perfect.
I've had days like
This
this.
is
Okay.
why on my drive to work I drink half a Monster, and then on lunch
We
I
will
finish
see if
it.
this is better.
Okay.
So
We don't
if
have the screen.
oh, you don't have the screen.
It's
Are
okay.
we
We don't need to see
now? Are we
ourselves.
live and up?
Yeah, we are up.
Can they
Can
hear
you
us?
hear us? Are we quiet?
Do I need
might
to
still
keep
be
my
quiet.
comments to myself?
I mean, that depends on what they are.
Never. I want to hear all of them.
I don't
But
think
we're
we
so
do.
small.
I do
There we
though.
go.
There, that's better.
We have a 10-hour drive.
You'll hear it all.
In like 3 weeks.
Do let us know if. Okay, so
Okay.
that has helped. Okay. Yeah. Apparently there was an OBS update, and my audio plug-in that I used to pull off of the mixer got broken by said update, so I had to reinstall it.
Don't listen to him. He just didn't offer the proper sacrifices and offerings to his machine
I'm
spirits.
telling you.
You know, you say potato, I say potato.
He did not caress and sing a lullaby to the computer last night, and now it is angry.
Immediately into the DM.
Do you remember that
disengage
old
just
laptop?
Because we love you.
Liz, do you remember that
Thank
old
you.
laptop computer I had to sacrifice a goat to every time so we
Yes.
could play
Yeah.
play games? That piece
Yeah,
of-
I've got so many of those to get through. It's just not even funny.
Like all
So,
of the roles.
It's like
for a little
all
while
of the
are gonna be
roles for a little while.
altered. Just
are gonna
going back
be-
and forth.
Yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
That means now's
So.
our chance to pull off some crazy stuff.
Okay, so
Or the DM lies.
DM lies. Because the DM would never lie to you, Braden. Of course not. I wouldn't do that.
Never.
You've never lied to me before?
Never.
Okay, so Dominic has just arrived on the bridge and was having a conversation with his friends. Go.
Have a basket.
Snacks.
Just the fruit, the vegetables, mostly vegetables. It's my first trip. I don't know what to bring.
Wait. What? Trip where?
I don't know. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing. I just was over prepared. Hey, better to be over prepared than under.
You know what? Sure. Okay. That's
Um,
that makes.
Should we
sense.
send you down with Killian?
I think we should all.
Killian specifically said no.
Okay, I can't remember if you had
Just
said just
kidding.
yourself. Okay. Remind me, did we start calling the AI thing? Do we use computer or what? Do you remember what the?
I don't think you,
I was just going Spelljammer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that you have worked out one way or the other a nomenclature.
That's fine. Spelljammer. Can you show us the Braden's trying to figure out how to say this in a world where the words I usually use I have to now.
I know, it's fun, isn't it?
Spelljammer, can you show us the room that's right below us on the visualizer in front of us?
Interrogative. Which room? There are 4.
Fair. The one with 3 people in it that is directly below this room.
So on
Processing.
4, 3.
Process. Yeah, just a sec.
After a couple of moments, a sort of crude wireframe diagram of the room shows up on one of the crystal viewing screens.
Okay, you know what? Fair.
I drew this for you.
Visual scanners inoperative. Simulation of occupants of captain's quarters based upon local sensors.
I don't know what half those mean, but okay.
Um,
Sensors.
And so what you see is sort of this very crude wireframe drawing of a room and 3 people sort of in the far sort of office part of it. One of them is behind a desk, the other 2
When you say wireframe, like
think like old school Tron.
Etch a sketch.
Yeah, it is a wireframe. There is
It's like
or no. I will go you one better as nerdy tech trivia.
oh please.
The Game Boy VR.
Oh no.
I was going to tell you it's a really bad Google sketch.
Okay.
So it is like just lines on a black screen. There's no texture to them at all. There is no shading, no nothing. It's just a whole bunch of lines that look vaguely person shaped and desk shaped and chair shaped and room shaped.
Weird, the floor is in a grid pattern.
Spelljammer, is there sound?
Why are
Do
you
we hear audio from this room?
Audio sensors inoperative.
Okay. I guess we'll just wait.
I guess we'll
So catch me up to speed really fast. Why are we talking to the walls and the walls are doing stuff for us?
Well, how do I put this? This is a spelljammer, sort of a semi-sentient magical tower
So
that can travel around so we could figure that out.
It's like an air vehicle, kind
like
of.
a blimp or a balloon?
But a lot more advanced, I think.
Mm-hmm. Magic.
Yeah,
Magic.
lots of magic.
No, that's it.
Lots
No,
of magic.
understand. You just say magic, I got you. Magic will do it.
Yeah, lots of magic.
I guess we'll just look at this wireframe and then
Technology is
wait
all
to see
but
if
magic.
Killian enters into the screen.
All right.
What cameras are operational?
You wouldn't know the word camera.
Oh, what viewing is operational?
One moment.
Diagnostic running.
75% of visual sensors offline for diagnostic.
How long will diagnostic take?
Still running diagnostic.
Diagnostic running.
Diagnostic.
I think
running.
it had like an hour 25 still
Oh.
left on its diagnostic.
Great.
Take off 5 for going up the stairs, so about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay then.
Visuals available, and it starts populating some of the other screens around you. A lot of them are.
It's just us from different angles.
There are definitely like at least 3 on the bridge. There's 2 from the engine room. There's 1 in the entry hall that actually has a little sort of. It's got this little sort of indicator, so any gamer out there will recognize this is an important thing, and it's got it sitting right over the elevator. It's just like this, it's a waypoint or a you go here, this is important kind of thing to the elevator.
Okay.
There are a couple from outside, sort of. You get a sense, you can't see the tower in those, but it's sort of looking out either side of the tower. But they're all sort of low down, except for the ones on the bridge.
The one
they're
showing
all-
the armada.
Yes.
Because it did show us a
Yeah.
visualization.
Yeah, and one of
the
those
armada.
is showing the armada. Yes.
We'll wait. See what
It is an octopus. Yes, on my shirt. Killian, your trip up the tower. Remind me, were you taking the stairs or the lift?
I would probably take the lift.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of this tower.
All right.
I'm the one running it.
So as you approach, you sort of step onto it, and you sort of it's too quick to really see, but you do sort of pass by Artemis, still sort of trying to. You can't decide if he's trying to shove someone back into a
or
room
pull
or
him.
pull them out, and it's taking you up the tower fairly quickly. You haven't given it a destination.
Oh, the Rosk's office.
Right, but you didn't. Did you? I mean, how?
If I need to, if that's how this functions, then if I had seen other people when we use it say that, I would have said.
I don't know that you
Because we used it.
You've used it.
And I was with Artemis when he took me as a prisoner.
Yes, but he didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
So as you sort of step onto the lift, you get sort of telepathic. And it's not even words, but you get a sense that it's a query of where you want to go. So you tell it Rosk's office, so it whisks you up to right below the roof of the tower, as far as you know, and you step out.
And the door to Rosk's office, was that one of the doors? Was that a Spelljammer door, or was that a?
Yeah, it was a.
Yep. Yes, I'm gonna approach that door. I assume there are guards outside.
There are. Halt!
Not each of them.
and they will put their spears across your path. Halt! State your business.
I'm here for the meeting.
He got you there. He knew there was a meeting.
There's a giant armada outside. We're not sure what's going on. People have died. We need to prepare a response. I'm here for the meeting.
And who are you?
I'm Batman.
So looking at these two, do these just seem like regular?
Yeah.
I am Master Rosk's guest. Anything more than that is probably below or above your pay grade.
He didn't say anything about a guest to me. Did he tell you? I don't know enough about a guest. Hold on. And one of them turns and the door slides open and he steps in and it closes. But before it does, you do see Rosk sort of behind his desk talking to two people. He glances up and his eyes sort of widen as he sees you and the doors close.
Out of the prison, up the...
Out of the prison, up the stairs.
So those of you on the bridge, there is another sort of wireframe figure that walks onto the screen.
You guys are like, oh, Killian.
It's Etch-a-Sketch Killian.
He's arrived.
You do see that the figure is carrying a spear in one arm.
It just kills him.
Okay, but that crossed my mind the first time I met him when it was just me and him. I was like, I could just try and off him right now.
And the figure sort of walks across the room, goes around the desk, gets down on one knee and leans in. The figure behind the desk sort of leans over and converses, and there's a shaking of a head and a nodding, and you're not real sure what's going on. And then there's a kind of thing. And,
I don't know.
And the one with this, the one that with the spear that just came in stands up and walks back out of the room.
Short conversation.
The door opens. The guard steps out. Rosk is talking to the other two people, but his eyes just flick up at you, and he's just got this glower on his expression, and the door closes. He is a guest. He wasn't summoned to the meeting, but he is a guest. And the boss said to let him in.
Thank you.
So they step aside, and the door opens for you, and slides shut behind you, and you can feel the guard's eyes on you, like, who the hell is this person to walk into a meeting he wasn't invited to at this level?
Even to know that it's even happening.
I'm here for the secret meeting.
And the three of you on the bridge see another figure walk into the room, and this one you recognize the swagger. you recognize the body language. That's Killian.
As I was waiting, Keith, I would, as nonchalantly as I can, cast enhance ability on myself.
Which ability are you?
Charisma.
Of course you are. Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna need it.
So as you as the door sort of closes behind you, you can kind of hear this sort of real shrill voice, female voice. What now? And both
I go.
Odessa Carell and the other gentleman sort of both turn and stare at you, and you are now getting full force. The three heads of the Apellian Order just staring you down.
I am walking right up to the table or the desk, the table, whatever they're at. I am just walking right up like I'm part of this conversation.
Okay.
Could I ask for a description of the three of them? If that's not too much to ask.
Do you need a description for everyone other?
No, I
like,
want.
don't you just need
okay,
one?
Describe
okay,
yourself,
just the new guy.
Just
the head of the
Because we
Inquisition.
know Rosk is sort of elven,
Elven,
We know
sort,
Ross
sort
features.
of regal.
Corell's sort of like mohawk,
Mhm.
rings all over her fingers, sort of slightly a bit bulky.
Sure. So the third person, because you've not seen
Met Corell.
Corell, but she has been described on screen.
I can.
She's been described on screen before, so I
I
won't
can
go back
infer.
through
I
that.
look at her and go, "You summoned demon."
You wish I would do this.
And of course you've met Rosk. The third person in the room is so blatantly ordinary that you would never be able to pick him out of a lineup, even knowing he was on the stage. He is so plain, average everything, average height, average weight, sort of lightish, sandy brown hair that wouldn't stand out anywhere, skin tone that's just ordinary. You can't really even tell because his hair is a little bit, because average is a little bit on the long side, but it's pulled down so that you can't tell if his ears are human ears or elven ears or half elven or anything. He is just absolutely plain. The kind of guy that would blend in anywhere.
Even the name of that guy's plastic surgeon.
Planio.
Planio. Greatest plastic surgeon on this continent.
So you're looking for something to distinguish him.
And he is
There is
distinguished by having none.
nothing.
Yes.
There's not even his attitude is just like that, just absolutely controlled, and you are seeing what he wants you to see, and what he wants you to see is nothing. He is just absolutely, he might as well not be there, but he is absolutely nondescript. His clothes don't stand out. He is in just absolute everyday off the street clothes. He's not wearing order robes even here now. He is just, you're not 100% sure that you're going to be able to remember what this guy looks like when you turn around.
He's so cool because he could put on a hat and he'd look completely different.
Yes, absolutely. He change one thing, one piece of clothing, one bit of, one hat, one affectation, anything, and he disappears from your mind.
He's a master of disguise.
Mm.
Yeah. So all three of them are staring at you as you just walk right up to the desk. Anyone in particular that you are looking at, making eye contact with? Are you focused in on Rosk? Are you including all of them?
I would observe them as I walk up, and so maybe like a little nod to each of them.
So Rosk's response, it's just like real sharp and quick and staccato and bitter. What do you want?
I was gonna come offer my help in dealing with your armada of. I assume you also don't know who they are outside.
We don't know. Given the direction they're coming from, there's only a few possibilities, but no, we're not 100% sure. And what makes you think you can help us anyway? You were a prisoner in the dungeons 5 minutes ago.
I love the word. You were.
Was I?
How the hell did you get out of the dungeons?
I told you that I know I have lots of cards to play, but I don't want to play my hand too soon. So, I thought I'd come offer you a deterrent to your armada, assuming that that's needed, or if you need other assistance, you know, someone not necessarily tied to the Order or the Empire directly to help smooth things out. I'm just gonna look between all of them.
You have the most powerful.
The guy sort of across the desk sort of chuckles a little bit. Bit off a little more than you can chew with this one, eh, Ross? Shut it. What sort of help do you think you could need?
Well, that depends what you need. I didn't know how far along you are and how you're planning on dealing with the Armada. I gather from the general, the general state of things on my way up here that you're not entirely sure what you're doing. It looks like maybe you're getting ready for a siege of some sort. I also don't know if you've identified their agents in the city yet.
What makes you think they have agents in the city?
Well, there are dead bodies in the city already, so somebody's made it past your...
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did you know that?
10 minutes have passed, and he just knows that. 10 minutes!
This is my favorite part, is because I get to be like, I just know all this stuff, guys. That's something maybe we'll discuss one day. Anyway, so where are you at? How can I best... I don't know what you're planning. I don't want to step on your toes with what you're maybe already in the process. I have ideas, but I wouldn't want to impose.
So the guy runs...
Are they standing or sitting on the desk?
So Rosk is sitting behind his desk. The other two are sitting in chairs across the desk from him. He's
the only one standing.
I'm grabbing another chair, but I'm doing the sit backwards chair and lean over it.
Oh my god.
So the guy, the spy master. That's all I'm gonna. He's got a name. I've forgotten what it is.
No, it's fine. Spy
Oh, we don't know his name either.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's been brought up.
We asked.
No.
We know who the Inquisition guy we have answers to.
We do have his name.
He's got it.
We do have it.
The head of the Inquisition?
Yes.
I was pretty sure we only had one. Oh, okay.
We do have his name. But we couldn't
I
couldn't do anything with it because
Yeah, because it's like, what good is that? No one knows him.
Amakir.
That's
Master
Master
Amakir.
Yeah. So he, not that you know what his name is. He first,
Yeah. That's okay. That's another bullet in my gun where I can at some point be like, well, as Master Amakir was saying.
You were about to. You have the three most powerful people in the city, and you were about to play them like a fiddle.
You know, the problem here is if you think of the opposite, he's dangerous.
He is not safe to be left unattended.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
that's the big
at
problem.
any rate, the spy master just got his arms over his chest and just chuckling. Mistress Odell, meanwhile, is sort of glaring daggers at you. It's like, well, we were planning on repelling a siege. Do you have a better idea?
Well, that depends. Who do you think is on the boats? Have we established for certain who we're even dealing with yet? You said there were only a couple options from that direction.
So the two of them turn back to Rosk. He looks at him. Fine. Before she was indisposed, the Empress No. The Empress was prosecuting a war on another continent. She was pressing the Empire to consolidate her power across the sea.
I had heard some rumors of this.
Mm-hmm. There were two fairly powerful city-states nations, nowhere near as powerful as her own, of course, that she was battling. That one should not have been too too much of a trouble. Fighting a war on two fronts is a little more complex. Neither one on their own was a match for the ever victorious army of the Empire. Together, they were able to slow the advance to a crawl, let us say. They were not able to stop it, but they were able to slow it. I'm not 100% sure when the last reinforcements were sent from the Empire. And I'm not entirely sure when the last report from that part of the world was delivered to the Empress.
Hold on. So you had, I assume, a sizable amount of your forces. Off
The
on-
Empire's forces.
Yes. The Empire's forces, a sizable chunk of them, off on prosecuting a war in a foreign land. And when everything here stopped, you just didn't follow up on that? And I'm going to kind of look like, you just didn't follow up on that at all? Didn't wonder what maybe that whole chunk of an army might be doing in their time?
The line of succession wasn't clear.
So
So we just didn't bother.
How important was the Empress's power to maintaining their advance?
I have my suspicions, but that's not something she liked to discuss.
Okay, so are we talking like the...
One second. About this time on the bridge. Addendum. Audio sensors now online. And so at this point you guys are going to start finishing the conversation. It sort of hisses for a little bit, and then it sort of clears up.
Because all you guys saw was me walk up, pull a chair over, and sit down on it.
Yep. Oh my gosh, he's getting ready to get killed.
I'm gonna chop his head off.
Chop his head off.
So about the time is that's not something she likes to discuss, or wanted to discuss.
So are you assuming that this is probably not your forces returning triumphant, I would assume?
I would not think so. No, there were certain protocols for messages that would have been sent in advance of their returning,
and
flag signals, light signals.
How likely is it that your chunk of an army that was all cut off decided to join forces with the natives now that they're stuck across the sea?
How likely? I don't know. That's what scares. That's what concerns me.
Because that would explain them knowing which sentinels and watch posts to disable.
We were just discussing that part, yes.
But you haven't actually sent an envoy or anything.
We literally just got this news.
10 minutes ago.
Right, so just slightly
Which is
behind.
why I'm so very curious
Slightly behind.
where you got your information.
I have many sources. Okay. What can you... These two city-states, what kind of culture were they? What kind of thing are we dealing with here?
Do they have names?
Clearly not overly militaristic, because there are multiple of them and they were not able to actually fight off the Empire.
Not overly militaristic, no, but there was some martial training to them, much like our own order. It seemed to be healthy minds, or healthy bodies helped healthy minds sort of enlightenment.
Okay.
At least in one. The other was more of an unknown. There didn't seem to be any one dominant culture, mainly because they were beastkin.
Oh, okay. What was the other state not?
No, primarily primarily humans in that one.
Okay. Interesting. Well, as I ponder over this, please, what you were just discussing, having your watch posts disabled.
As you now just attend the meeting.
Carry on.
How is he? How?
I will never understand how he does this.
So my family's on the way?
Possibly.
My extended family is here.
Certainly seems like it could be.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Do they like
Looking back to the
ships?
Armada
Mm-hmm.
and just seeing some of the ships, we can't see like anyone on it.
No, they're still too far away.
But are there animal cartographied sails?
Do the sails have
Do
all
they
these
have the
symbols
sails
on
have like
them?
animalistic symbols?
Like,
Like a painted eagle, or like a painted bear, or something like that.
what we could do is we could, Mr. Wall, can we see the ships?
Yes, there is one screen.
Oh,
There's
that's
a screen over there.
Can we get closer?
There's an enhance button!
I was terrified that you would say that and the whole tower would be like, sure. And you're like, no.
That would have been.
So
Key phrases.
We need closer look.
So the view sort of shifts and it zooms in on one of the lead ships. Now, the ships themselves look actually. The ships are of a style that looks or interspersed. Some of them look familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are not. Some of them are the Japanese junk type boats. But some of them are more European style long range cargo ships.
Captured from the enemy.
There are, but even among the foreign built ships, there are a couple of very distinct variations. So almost like there are two different navies out there. Well, three if you count the ones that have been captured and turned around. Each of the navies, for lack of a better terminology, does have sort of a heraldry of its own, not on the sails themselves, but on banners that are flying. There is one that's got sort of a what do they call it like a rampant eagle, and in its claws. I don't know if you've ever seen the sort of seal of the United States with the eagle. One set of claws is clutching arrows, and one set is clutching some sort of plant. You're not real sure what it is. It's stylized. You can't really tell, but its arms are outstretched and head off to one side and clutching these things, and it's
America.
I was about to say, don't touch their boats.
What are
the other the standards are just a lot more geometric patterns. There is sort of a blue diamond, and it's not like a square on its side. It's like an actual rhomboid. So it's longer on one axis than on the other, and that sort of bisects. Or it's sort of in the middle, and there's fields of white and red sort of alternating on the quarters of the flag. So it's red, white, and this sort of very pale orange diamond shape in the center. Nothing more distinctive than that you can make out. From the zoomed in view, you do see that the sort of diamonds seem to be more human, and on the other you're seeing more animal kin. Quite a wide variety, actually. Several large sort of bear men are prevalent. some obviously wolfkin, a few rabbitkin, some avian types. Seems to be, it's sort of a wide variety. If you can imagine a creature, as a humanoid, they're pretty much represented.
Okay.
Would I recognize anybody?
Ooh.
You're not recognizing individuals,
Okay.
no.
Just kind of like just shape.
Yeah, just more. Just more. It's the type of people you would recognize from around your home.
Yeah.
Cousin Peter.
but no
Peter?
specifics.
And Peter? Peter?
Peter.
Oh, Grandpa Peter's here too.
Old man Peter.
So Ross sort of he's just like, all right. Well, we don't have any way of, and he's just like,
I have completely thrown off this.
You have completely
derailed
thrown off
everything.
all of his prepared or all of his like, this is what I should say to get the upper hand kind of remarks.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we obviously don't have time to send a ship to get the armada back into position. Gods know that they're or the gods or whatever know that they're out there trying to run down those blasted pirates. So clearly we have to just prepare for the siege. I suggest perhaps we commandeer the commercial vessels in the port, use them as a barricade along the mouth of the harbor to keep the enemy flotilla away from the city center.
The other two seem to.
So the spy master, he's not giving a lot away. He's just sort of listening at the moment. Odessa Corral is like, no, that's the surest way to turn all of the merchants against us. And they're already making inroads. You remember that fiasco with the bank. The last thing we want to do is give them more ammunition for why we can't be trusted leading the city.
I wonder what happened with that bank.
Whatever.
Well, what else are we going to do? We have to keep them out of the harbor. If we get them in the harbor, it's game over.
Has the spy master still?
Mm.
I'm gonna just kind of look at him for a sec, see like, oh, do we have any like?
Yeah,
just
so he-
that like.
So he meets
do you
your
feel-
eyes. He's like, and you kind of get a sense that he's like,
he's playing the same like.
You've got something you want to say. What do you want to say? I wonder. And he said, he communicates all that without words.
And clearly, he's like, I'm not.
Mhm.
Well, can the city withstand a siege? I haven't been here long enough to really assess that.
There's never been a successful siege of the city in recorded history.
Yeah, but that was with an empress, effectively as your trump card. Unless I'm mistaken, I understand that's no longer an option right now.
Yes, but the physics, the physical walls of the city are still here. They should still protect the city as long as we don't let anything in the harbor.
Do you have the forces to hold if they disembark troops and start a siege? Do you have the food stores to withstand a siege?
Yeah, and Ross very clearly doesn't have that answer off the top of his head.
I'm gonna look between all three of them, just like, does anybody know?
And Corel is also just as stymied. She does not have that information. You look over at the spy master, And he looks at you.
Okay. If I may, I think I might have a solution that could, if nothing else, buy us time. If each of you is amenable to it, as someone who is not directly connected to the Empire and has lots of experience dealing with the wild fringes of the Empire, I could go try and see what they want and negotiate a cessation of hostilities, potentially. If nothing else, it buys you more time to, fix the problem that you don't have enough food and potentially clean water to withstand a siege. And, then your population is going to riot and people, it's not going to go well.
And what makes you think that you can stop an armada?
Well, I don't know if I can, but I can always go ask and see.
And what makes you think that they'll stop and listen to you?
I can be very persuasive.
I got it in
Oh,
here.
really?
I'm just going to look around. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
And I mean, think of it.
Even Carell sort of chuckles at that. He's got you there.
And I mean, think of it this way: if I go down there and they kill me and some of the people I'd likely bring to help smooth negotiate, even if they kill us, what are you out? I've bought you time, if nothing else. I'm out of your hair. The worst thing you lose is information that you don't already have.
That is one way to get rid of a pesky problem.
And I mean, it's up to you if you'd rather handle it a different way. But if he's telling, and I'm pointing at the spy master, if he's saying that we don't have the supplies to last a siege, I'm inclined to believe him. And I don't think you're going to be able to just come up with those.
Yeah. So Ross looks over at him, and Amakir just sort of, fine. Go do what you're going to do. You're going to do it anyway.
Well, I need your official approval to negotiate on your behalf. So I need some sort of document I can present so I'm not just some random person who shows up. So if we can have Corel, Master Rosk, Master Amakir, official document. I can take that down to him.
And he just, his head sort of whips around, and he cocks an eyebrow.
And I'm sure the Spy Master is cool as a cucumber through this. No.
Well, no, that he's the one
that's he spins around and looks at him.
And all three of them actually are just sort of staring at you when you drop his name.
Sorry, I thought we were at the point where we knew what we were doing here, and that was, I just assumed you assumed I knew.
And all three of them are just like gobsmacked.
How does he do this? How does he do this?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. I
thought he always did this. As long as I met him, this is how he
does
does.
this kind of stuff all the time. I thought maybe you would have a different kind of insight into how brains work, because mine certainly doesn't work the way his does.
He downloaded a spelljammer in my brain. I'm tainted.
That's a reasonable point.
Report. Fuel reserves at 25%.
What's fuel? Don't say anything. Shush. Don't ask it anything. I don't know what that means.
I was going to ask where the furnace room was so we can add more fire.
Furnace?
I'm assuming it runs on fire, like logs or coal or something.
To cut down a whole forest to feed it.
I don't think we want to know what it runs on.
Child labor.
So, you are very well informed for a rebel.
Who says that?
It's Rosk. And Corell's like, a rebel? You're one to talk.
If I was a rebel, I would not be sitting here in a room with the three people most likely to kill me for being one. I want to ensure that there is a stability in our government.
He's not wrong.
That part is true. The rebel part depends on what perspective you're looking
Now, it's
at.
up to you guys. You do not have to take me up on my offer. It just seems like it might be one of the better options at our disposal. And since I'm assuming you don't have a lot of other people around here unaffiliated with the Order or the Empire who are willing to go negotiate on your behalf.
Ross just kind of looks between the other two. Mistress Corell is sort of... She's got a hand on her chin and she's just kind of calculating. Trying, her eyes flick back and forth between you and Rosk. As if she's trying to figure out the power balance.
She's trying to figure out the game.
She's trying to figure out the game.
I flipped the chessboard.
Trying to figure out what her best play is. And after, a long sort of pause, she just kind of looks over at Rosk and cocks an eyebrow and the barest imperceptible nod. Those of you watching the screen don't even catch it. You're the only one that sees it. And then he turns to Amakir, who is still sort of staring at you as though trying to work through the mystery of how it is that you know what you know. And he sort of turns his head, still looking at you, cuts his eyes over, nods, and goes back to just staring at you. He has again not said anything at all more than he absolutely has to. And Rosk is just sort of back and forth between the two of them. Fine. And he...
That's the F word you were thinking of saying here.
and he pulls out a sheaf of parchment and starts writing. And what he takes him a few minutes to sort of figure out what he wants to say. He signs with a flourish, puts the pen over to the other two, who sign a little bit smaller beneath his.
All right, John Hancock.
And he hands it. He says, "We want to be in the loop."
I would expect nothing less. I will try and, hold off hostilities, find out what they want, and then I will come back to you and tell you whether there's something we can make a deal with or if we have to try and go on the offensive.
Fine. He hands it out. There's a moment where he's like, fine. And so what he hands you is basically, it's basically the bearer of this is speaking on the behalf of the Appellian Order of the Serenethi Empire, on behalf of its leaders, to negotiate a peaceful settlement to the current situation, open enough that it gives you a little bit of leeway, but it's also
it's not like official, but it's enough that it's like no, look, I have a paper that says I can do what I want.
Right? Yeah, it's not so open ended that you've got carte blanche to do whatever the hell you want, but it's it's open enough that if you need to go maybe a little bit outside of what they're expecting you to do, you probably could fudge a little bit and make it work.
I will tuck it into my bucket and say, it is still probably your best move right now to assume that there still will be a siege and to prepare what you can. I have friends in the Merchants Guild. I can ask them if you can make use of their ships. They will probably take that better than if you just commandeer them.
And Ross just sort of, you hear this little rumbly growl in his chest. Corell is like, he's not wrong. Asking would be better.
I mean, if they say no, you can still commandeer them, but if they say yes, you don't have to.
fine.
He's a
Could
beach.
you perhaps? I assume you're going to want to get out there as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, I'll just ask if I can use one of their ships to do that.
Okay.
Unless you wanted that done differently, I just figured that'd be an easiest way out.
No, that.
Yep.
Fine.
Not a problem.
Fine. Go. Do.
Okay.
Go. And
Thanks.
and he's just sort of rubbing his forehead. The two others are looking at him. He's not paying them any attention, but you are. And I'm not even gonna bother making you roll for it. The two of them are looking at him like they're sharks and there's blood in the water.
We see weakness.
How is it that this boy from the valley, who no more than 2 years ago was nothing more than a blacksmith,
Yep.
making his way through life, and now, no more than 2 minutes ago, set foot into the most powerful office on the continent, and just came out on top.
That's because I have this radical philosophy in the Empire where I'm like, well, have we asked them? Have we said, please don't? Have we tried that one yet, guys?
Oh my gosh.
I will head out.
Okay.
Once I am out and sort of, I'm not like people aren't right around, I am going to speaking, because I think we established we had like I have like an earpiece or something so we can communicate.
You have like a
to the
bracelet.
bridge. Yeah, I had something.
Yeah.
I will be like,
Where's your-
I'm gonna need all of you but Cassius to come meet me outside the tower. Cassius, if you could just hold down the fort up there
Great.
for us.
I can do that.
Great. We're I don't know how much of that you caught, but we're gonna
Oh,
go.
we heard it.
Oh yeah, great.
Speaking of which, what are they saying now?
Yeah, as soon as I'm out the door, who the hell is?
Actually, as Killian is walking out the door, their voices sort of fade away. You kind of put together that the audio source he was using was
okay.
actually the
I was hot
communicator.
miking.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I was sitting there just like, there's no mic in the...
Wait a
wait a
minute.
second.
Wait a second, now there's a mic.
Connecting to Bluetooth.
It takes like a few seconds. You're like,
I will.
Fair enough.
I will. Pardon me for stating the obvious. I'm not sure that this tower thing is going to respond to my commands.
That's fair. It did call you a Class 3 entity.
I'm
How
sorry,
long?
what?
Yeah, it said there was a Class 3 entity on the bridge, and I asked it what that was, and it pointed to you.
Oh,
I don't know what that means yet, but we can find out later. when
neither
we're not
do
dead.
I.
Oh, we could have Artemis.
Yeah, let's have Artemis stay in case we need to do anything with the tower.
Looking around, Artemis is not on the bridge.
We'll make sure.
I
Okay.
left him at the
Gets
bottom
to-
of
yeah.
the up.
Of the what?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Whatever so the door when I came through,
Uh-huh.
the thing that took me up, I went through the ceiling. I don't know what's going on, but he was down two floors, something like that.
Okay.
If we take a couple minutes, can we just grab him and put him in the bridge?
We put him in the NPC part.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then, I'll need all of you to come with me while we go negotiate.
I shouldn't talk.
No.
Well, I have to find the voice. Well, let's see here. Do I? I have just enough. If you want, I can cast Fly on us.
Oh, I was gonna go.
Well, just to get out, if we just take out from the top of the tower and then head towards the harbor.
Oh, I have to go talk to the Merchants Guild anyway, so I wanted to use one of their ships. Also, that might make the people out there in the Armada less concerned if...
No, not flying to the Armada, just out, so we're not having to use the main entrance. Never mind.
Well, I have to use the main entrance.
Oh,
You
fair.
guys can do what you want.
Actually, we probably
How important
shouldn't.
is it that we not be seen?
I mean, you.
Very important.
Okay.
I can fly the three of us.
Great.
At least
Okay.
out.
That
Outside,
seems
so.
okay.
We get to fly.
Yes, Peter.
You can fly, you can
fly,
fly, you can
fly.
fly.
I'll just cast Fly on us and we'll
Okay.
take out the
Okay.
top exit and then just find a way,
Okay.
find
I'll
a way
wait for
down
them.
to.
Akarai does stay behind as well.
Yes.
That's probably a good decision as well.
Mhm.
I squeeze his hand before it.
Be safe. Or
I'll try.
as safe as you can.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure how this is gonna go. Guess we'll find out.
I
I think as
I'll
long as we're
be
with
keeping
Killian
tabs.
Fates with us.
He speaks words of wisdom.
He speaks words of
He speaks
wisdom.
words of talk fast and don't let him think too hard about what
Talk
you're
fast
saying.
and speak out your ass.
I will wait for them to come join me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't take very long, obviously. Gravity being what it is. Flying down is really, really easy. So you guys get
You use
to the
toast until you
you guys get to the bottom and meet the four of you meet up.
Well, that went so much better than I thought it might go.
Shockingly, yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too, Dominic. Okay, so we have to go to the Merchants Guild.
Nonchalantly.
We have to ask if the Order can use their boats. We have to commandeer. We have to ask if we can use a boat. And then we got to go sail out and see what the Armada out there wants. And if we can twist this to our advantage even more than it already is.
Well, we'll talk on the way. Okay. How are we gonna? Can we assume we're walking and talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we gonna spin this in our?
Well, that depends who's out there and what they want. And then, since I'm the only person, since we're negotiating, they don't need to know what they actually tell us. So I can make sure that the deal works out in our favor. However we swing
We'll
this.
give him a description of the ships, like
Okay.
saying sort of beastful
Mhm.
human, and then just the heraldry that we saw.
That tracks. Did you see anybody who looked like they were in Imperial armor?
Can I say like bits and pieces, like they had been scavenged?
Yeah,
Bits and pieces, like it had been scavenged, like off a body.
I'm trying. I'm a little curious if they just wiped out the army that was there, or if the army wound up switching sides.
I don't know. They always lied about how many numbers were over there, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were effectively cut off. I mean, Rosk. I don't know if you guys heard that part, but
We
Rosk.
heard maybe like 80% of it.
Yeah, Rosk said that they didn't know the last time the reinforcements were sent, or the last time a report came back.
Not long. Corel kind of dealt with the
Okay, so just-
correspondence. We hadn't heard anything like a year.
Yeah, so it's a long time. Like, that's long enough something could have happened. Anyway, that went so well, and I'm not looking forward to having to deal with Amakir later. I probably shouldn't have name dropped him, but it
Probably
just
not.
felt
That was
so
him?
satisfying.
What did he look like? Normal.
Ordinary.
Oh,
Exceedingly
Average.
ordinary.
Mm.
As if someone was attempting to look as plain and unidentifiable as possible.
So, these were the three people that run the showbiz, right?
Yep.
Do we have anybody that could have taken their positions? Is that why we didn't just kill them?
It feels like right now the Armada we should
Yeah.
worry about first.
Right now the problem.
We don't want to
is-
create a power vacuum.
Yeah, right now
immediately.
the problem is twofold. I don't know who. We don't have anybody ready to step into their spot. And if that Armada does decide they're invading, and we lose those three, and there's a power vacuum, and we don't have anybody ready to take over. What happens there? We might lose control of the only people in the city right now who could maybe organize the defenses of a siege.
Maybe
So,
we go back and have a queen. Kidding.
well, technically we still have one. Technically we have two. One of them's dead, but not really,
Okay.
in the castle, and the other one is far away from here.
I thought you were about to make a joke that Milo was a drama queen.
No.
Milo makes 3.
Yeah.
So to our friends in the Merchants Guild,
Oh, okay.
whoever's closest in the Merchants Guild.
Will this go sideways? Can we sick the bank on them?
I was about to say it's gonna be the bank will be the one closest, and we'll have to go negotiate with the bank again.
Can we take a loan for a boat?
Actually, it probably, of the people you know in the Merchants Guild, it probably is the
Ooh,
bank.
But do we know someone who does shipping? Didn't the
The
halflings-
Nadir family.
Yeah, didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the
Oh.
Nadir family. The
I know that they did. One of them did imports and
Swiftfoot.
exports.
Yes.
Is that
I'm
by
trying to remember
land
what
or by
the.
sea?
I'm trying to remember what their name was.
This is the halfling group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what their name was. Oh, here it is. Smooth Hands. The Smooth
Yeah, the
Hands.
Smooth
And
The smooth
yeah.
ends.
It's nice when I actually take notes.
Theirs was primarily overland because it was the wool
Okay.
products and cloth.
So yeah, then I have to go to the bank since I
Yeah.
don't know someone who does shipping. We have to go to the bank. They're the closest.
I mean,
the bank have a
the
boat?
smooth hands might know someone to point you to, but the bank almost
well,
for sure.
the bank.
will.
I was just thinking, since I don't know any of them personally, if we just go to the nearest member of the Merchants Guild, and we're basically like, hey, you got to round everybody up, and here's some things we need.
Okay.
Front entrance or back
Front
entrance?
entrance.
We do have. We
We're
have
old friends at this point. I'm walking right up the front entrance.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
Okay.
you have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Nope. I have no idea.
Okay.
Do we?
I assume it's. I assume it's
So
closed.
so the bank is. Yeah.
I didn't
late,
remember if it was
right?
late enough to.
It was nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is nighttime.
It's probably
so,
like hitting midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning.
So yeah. So the bank is closed.
Excuse
Up the
me?
stairs.
No,
This
okay.
bank-
Hello,
ma'am?
we have urgent business. I cannot stress how important this is. Could you please let us in so we can talk?
Miss Bank, ma'am.
You kind of feel the whole building sort of shudder, like it's stretching.
Like it's stretching from waking.
And the opening sort of like almost yawns.
Mhm.
Do you happen to know what time it is? The voice comes from absolutely nowhere.
It's very late. I'm really sorry. It's kind of an emergency. There's
Is this
an
Jerry?
invading
Is this-
force.
Both.
What do you mean an invading
There's a
force?
bunch of people in boats that might be trying to invade the city.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's why we needed to talk real fast.
The doors just sort of swing open. Best done inside and not on the street.
I agree completely.
Am I good out here?
No, you'll be fine. You can come in with us. You'll be
She
okay.
won't eat us.
Well, unless you try and steal something.
Yes,
don't
don't steal
steal
anything.
anything.
I wasn't planning on.
Good. Don't
Then you're
even
good.
think about it. And I go into the bank.
Yeah, and the doors, everyone steps in, the doors sort of close behind you. The voice from nowhere. Who's your friend?
Oh, right. This is Dominic. He's a newcomer to our group.
So right in the middle of the foyer, right in the middle of the lobby, the what looks like marble floor just sort of bubbles up and forms like a female figure that's recognizable to the three of
The
you.
dwarven woman.
Yeah, the dwarven woman, and she just sort of materializes out of the floor. Looking closely, you can see her feet are actually still part of the floor.
Ah, the uvula.
Magic.
So
So there's an armada. We need to get the Merchants Guild all together. We're going to go find out what they want and try to negotiate with them on behalf of the city. But we need, one, a boat that can take us. I assume someone in the Merchants Guild can provide that.
I'm sure.
Also, the Order is thinking about commandeering all the commercial vessels to form a
Yeah, and she just kind of
to form a
they wouldn't dare.
barricade in the harbor. I said it would probably be
Actually, that's
best
not
if
a bad idea.
exactly. So if the Merchants Guild could provide that instead of having it commandeered, it would
They're
smooth
actually
everything.
asking that this time.
Yeah, they're.
Oh,
we
okay.
talked them into let's ask first so that we don't
Okay.
have to. So
How? What's the risk that any ships on the barricade might be sunk?
I don't know. Hopefully it will be none because we will go negotiate a cessation of hostilities. But I don't know. We don't know anything about what's going on right now.
Oh,
I know.
But rather a ship than
That's-
all the city, I suppose.
I mean, yes, that math works, but the math of what I'm going to have. Oh,
Hopefully,
this is going to cost me so much money.
hopefully it will not come to that. My goal is to avoid that outcome, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I'll wrangle the.
If you could, I would appreciate it greatly.
Yes.
And then we need a ship we can use as soon as possible to go out and
Okay.
begin negotiations.
She sort of like clinches just a little bit, and 5 or 6 other little polyps burst out of the floor. They're of various shapes and personages, but each one of them, as they sort of finish forming, there's a sort of pop, and they bud off of the floor to be completely mobile.
That's terrifying.
Oh gosh.
That which
And
you don't understand is magic. That which you don't understand is magic.
Lucas just thinks into his head, and we thought we were going to fight this bank.
We would have
But the
died
breeze
so
was
bad.
out.
Quickly.
We thought we were going to fight this bank.
Gather up the so she sort of turns to the polyps and go gather up the executive council for the Merchants Guild. Have them meet here. Tell them it is an emergency. Let them know I will pay for the refreshments.
Coffee.
I would buy extras of those just in case. In case a siege is on, you're gonna want extras.
She turns to the last one in the line. Petty cash. Don't spend more than 20 gold.
Damn it. But in 6 hours of time, something that might be able to help, but no.
You just reabsorb them?
If I need to, yes.
Oh,
So,
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
It is useful that you can have
yeah.
I mean,
appendages.
What happens if
They're-
they don't? Do they stay alive of their own volition?
well, they're basically me. So if I don't, then they can go to other places.
And be more of you.
In a few centuries, yes.
Oh gosh.
I thought that was the coin's job.
Well, yes. But that takes a little bit longer.
Oh, well now I've got nightmares to have about other things. Okay. Interesting.
Most of the time I reabsorb them. I've only lost a couple dozen.
Okay, sure. Sure.
I'm sure that won't come back to bite any of
no,
us later.
not even a little.
Only ever 1 or 2 at a time.
Oh, sorry, Dominic. This is the bank.
Yeah.
Let me
You just refer to yourself
reiterate.
as the bank,
This
sir?
is the bank.
nice to meet you, Bank.
Her hand is a little on the
Goopy.
slimy side.
Nice.
Are you still just
That's
referring
in the
to yourself
fur
as
now.
the bank, or
We
did you
helped
give
the
yourself a
bank
name?
track down some rogue gold.
I'm
and
playing
convinced
with
it.
the name Bianca.
Bianca.
I thought you were about to say
We
Beyonce.
convinced the bank to join the Merchants Guild. Well, really, we convinced the Merchants Guild to have the bank join. I feel like is really what happened there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how you
So
spell it.
this
for
is our
sure.
friend, the bank.
The
Yep.
bank, Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Are we just gonna wait till they get here?
Well, I mean, we need a ship before we can go anywhere, and I don't know whose ship it's gonna be.
We'll just
so-
wait.
Okay. The first one back is the sort of the last one on the end. It popped out as sort of this little. You can tell it was supposed to be a halfling. It's supposed to be a halfling woman, but she's a little too tall for that. So
Just short.
just a short woman otherwise. So she comes back, and she actually has sort of coming in behind her look like a couple of maybe late night bakers and a couple of grocers, and they start to lay out a little bit of a refreshment spread, and they're the caterers are sort of looking around at what the hell is the bank doing? Why are we bringing food to the bank in the middle of the night? And they just lay it out. Don't ask any questions and take the money and turn and
Yeah, like
run.
80% of the city do not know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
After that, the rest, the other 5 that went out sort of trickle back in. Each of them has someone else with them. One of them is actually the patron of the patriarch of the Smooth Hands. It's like, my friends, welcome.
Hey!
I wish we could meet under better circumstances.
What seems to be the trouble?
Might want to meet a minute or two
Yeah,
for the rest of everyone else.
I only want to have to go through this one time.
Fair enough. Say no more. Thank you for the spread. And the bank just sort of calls out, you can call me Bianca. We'll see how it goes. I might change it in a decade or two. Who knows? Well, thanks, Bianca. I'm going to go get some food and eat. And he does. And he piles up his plate. And...
Did they not tell him what this place was?
Oh no, anybody on the executive council knows
Yes.
what the bank is.
They've got a lot more comfortable than I would be.
I mean, most of the city's funds are tied up in the bank, so
I
they
know.
kind of have to be.
I was to say that was part of the reason he was like, no, you have
Adapt
to
or
work
die.
with the bank. You don't understand.
And realistically, if she decided that she wanted to eat them,
There's nothing they can do.
yeah.
I do remember that we had to stipulate in their agreement that like they only meet in the bank sometimes because
Right.
otherwise
comfort or death. Really.
Right.
Comfort or death.
Yeah, you might as well just be okay.
they're merchants. They're used to risk.
Yeah.
So the rest of the council piles in. Each of them goes over and grabs just a little bit of nosh, and then they sort of gather at a long table and
Okay, to go through this fast for everybody. There's an armada with unknown intentions, but probably hostile, that is approaching the city. We're going to go negotiate with them on behalf of the city and try and prevent anything from happening. However, in case anything bad does happen, the Appellian Order is preparing the city for a siege, and so needs to use as many vessels as they can to create a barricade in the harbor. Otherwise, it won't be a siege, it will be a slaughter. Would you please so kindly lend them the ships that they need?
dead silence. They're all just staring at you, eyes wide, like, what the hell? And Bianca, of course, is just sort of sitting there like...
I can go over it one more time, but...
And not to hurry you two, everyone along, but we have at least dawn before they get here.
Yep.
Mr. Smoothhands is like, this isn't some kind of weird joke.
No,
or
no,
anything.
Unfortunately not.
I have very little sense of humor.
I will-
Apparently, no.
I will pull out, I won't like let them read it, but I will pull out the paper, like, I have a signed document authorizing me to negotiate by the heads of the Appellian Order. So, no, this is very real, and it could get out of hand very quickly.
Well, okay.
We would also need a vessel to take ourselves out to go negotiate. as
Negotiate
well.
with them and hopefully prevent anything from happening.
Yes,
Right.
I know.
And he just sort of looks down the line at the others at the table with him. Fine, I move that we do what they say.
Oh, right, sorry.
Oh, right, we're not used to a democracy in this city.
There's very quickly sort of a second, and Bianca, all right, all in favor? Every hand goes up.
Well, that's good.
We look at each other and we're like, I don't know if we're supposed to vote, but I'm voting.
Yeah, yeah.
Any opposed? No?
I don't know.
We
Very
need all the
well.
help we can
I don't know what's going on.
We'll make the arrangements to... what was it you said you wanted the ships to do?
You will need to allow them to be under the command of the Appellian Order to create a barricade. So start moving in position. We need to barricade off the harbor so the Armada cannot enter the city.
So I assume hazard pay for the crew and bit of a stipend for the owners in case anything happens to them.
And a little extra for emotional damages.
Yes, Oscar, I will cover the added expenses. Bianca chimes in.
And I'll see if I can't get the order to foot the bill. It might not be in their budget, but I'll see what I can do for
At
you.
least something.
That would be appreciated.
No problem. We do, however, as soon as possible, need a ship that can take us out.
Uh,
Otherwise, this does become a siege.
Right. So you'll want something a little bit on the faster side.
Yes, please.
And a crew that's willing to take us.
Right.
And I don't care if they're smugglers or pirates, as long as they can get me where I need to go.
Very well. We'll see. She kind of glances down in the direction of the harbor. Oh. Yes, I think I've got the ship for you.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Oh no. Uh-oh. I
The
don't...
mimic shit.
It's Kevin.
Kevin!
That would be great.
This is what the city looks like.
This is what the city looks like.
No one
Right,
gave you a
it's
copy.
arranged. The captain will be waiting for you.
How long have you had this ship?
I haven't had it. Well, I suppose I haven't had it in a few months, but he was once part of my brood.
Huh.
Oh.
I did not know he was in the city.
He likes to keep it quiet. Changes things up every time they come in.
Oh no.
That's
Interesting.
exciting. Okay, well, good luck. Hopefully you'll see us again because we won't die horrible deaths.
Oh, one little minor thing. My offspring sort of goes back and forth. I wouldn't say he necessarily.
Understood.
It's a they-them situation. I know the
makes more
Yes,
sense.
in the most literal of senses, yes.
Fair enough.
All right, we'll start in with the more traditional shipping from this end.
I appreciate it.
I assume we should probably send a runner for the Apellian Order, huh?
Yeah.
Very well. Good luck.
Thanks.
And the rest of them start to sort of huddle together and start making plans.
And we will head to cabin.
You actually are. The floor sort of undulates underneath you and sort of helps you out the door that much quicker.
Ah.
Speed boost.
We just got
Okay.
encantoed.
All right. Let's go.
As we're going, I'm gonna look at Dominic and be like, see, look, it didn't eat you.
Good job.
Dominic.
He's still too traumatized.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As we're heading
Was there a question?
as we're heading to the harbor, I went, oh, see, it didn't eat you.
Was it going to eat me?
It could have.
It could have.
I love how we all say that simultaneously. It could have.
I mean, it's new. It's new.
Oh, it was an adventure.
It was.
At one point, we thought we were gonna fight the bank.
We would have lost
Oh, so
bad.
quickly.
So bad.
Like, as metaphorically, or like
Literally.
actually smack the
No.
bank?
I mean, we thought that the bank would be hostile and not be willing to negotiate with us, so we were preparing contingencies.
That
Very
involved
explosive ones. Yeah, no, we
Really?
would have totally
Oh,
died.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have realized what was going on, and every hallway would have just.
Yep. Yep.
So glad we did not fight the bank.
Me too.
So we're going to. Okay, so
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go get on the ship. We're gonna go out. We're going to try and meet whoever's leading the armada to negotiate with them. I'm hoping that by having you with us,
Yes.
it makes them a little more
I mean, it's
friendly
probably
to
a
us.
smart idea.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I'm gonna look. Are you two wearing order robes?
I've worn one a long time.
I'm not right now, but I can be if I
Okay.
need to.
No, I'm gonna look. And be like, okay, good. I hopefully, since we're not clearly
Order.
Empire aligned, we can. They'll trust us a little more than if we showed up as like an Imperial envoy situation.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, this might go terribly wrong.
It
I have
could.
no idea.
I mean, any number of things already could have those, so realistically.
Does
that-
everyone know how to swim?
Ish.
Okay, so we have to keep you
I
alive.
don't think I've ever swam with armor before.
Let me check. Did
That might be
I
difficult.
take walk on water or water breathing? Nope. Of course I didn't.
I got nothing!
I got nothing.
On the upside, I trust our boat implicitly.
How do you know we haven't even gotten there yet? We
Oh.
don't even know the crew.
We've had a run with it in the past.
I wonder if it has a crew.
Maybe it's a self-contained entity by now.
That would be interesting.
We'll
The
find
boat
out.
is gonna be like the bank.
Like,
Yes.
kind of person.
It depends. What does mean?
Look, I don't know how to.
The same way the bank as a whole was its own
Person.
entity, the ship will be its own.
So it's gonna morph like a little dwarf thing.
Maybe it didn't do that the last time we talked with it, but
It's gotten a lot bigger.
Do you just like go up to like the mast and you just go, "Thank you, ship"?
I don't know. Last time we saw it, we were giving it away to a pirate friend of ours. We figured it'd be more free and have more fun there.
More free. Did you have many adventures with this ship?
Well, it was a cabin most of the time, and
Which is why its name is Cabin.
not a ton, but not a ton. It was just hard. It had to stay outside of town. It had to stay hidden.
Yeah.
Wait, so it wasn't a boat the whole time?
No. It was a cabin. Well, it was a
Like,
coin, and
in
then
the
it was a
woods
treasure
kinda
chest.
cabin?
Exactly. It was a coin, then a treasure chest, then a cabin with chicken legs,
A wall at some point.
a
in
wall at
time.
one point, and eventually a boat.
You forgot that it was also a Chinese dragon.
Oh,
It was a Chinese
right,
dragon. Yep.
Because
Yep.
we.
That's cool.
That's how we got it out. Yep.
It was cool. Anyway, down to the docks.
All right. So as you approach the docks, there is one ship that's sort of off on its sort of lonesome, out by itself. On
They're lonely.
No, we are not getting two. Getting one so that it has company doesn't work, Danny.
Because they don't need to. It can multiply by itself. It doesn't need a second one.
It does appear to be somewhat larger than the last time, the space it took up the last time you saw it. But standing on the dock right next to it, sort of right next to where the figurehead would be, is a very familiar to the two of you figure, Cabbage. Hey guys!
Cabbage!
Yes! Perfect. This is Cabbage. Dominic,
This is our pirate
Cabbage,
friend,
this is-
Cabbage.
yeah.
Oh.
We used to hi. Hello.
Cabbage, this is Lucas and Dominic.
Hi guys.
Hi, hello.
Just
Hi.
very,
Hi.
very
Because, see me picks up strays.
Hey.
Yeah, she's the only one that picks up strays. I'm looking at you. What are you guys up to?
That wouldn't
Cast
happen to
thy
be
eyes out
you,
to
that wouldn't
sea.
happen to be your armada out there, would it?
No, sorry.
Well, that
That's
would've
not
made-
me,
That
not
would have
me.
made life easier. We have to go out to that armada so we can negotiate peace on behalf of the city.
And the figurehead sort of turns and just nods to her. Fine.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Right?
Really cool.
He's got a lot of neat tricks now. Show him what did we decide to call? Show them submarine.
What?
And the ship sort of ripples and the mast sort of shrinks down in, and there's this sort of semi-transparent bubble over the deck, and then it sinks a little bit lower in the water.
Huh. That is really cool, but we probably need it to be a boat so we can have a white flag on it.
Okay.
So that they don't try and kill us when we show up.
Okay. What kind of boat?
A peaceful looking
Very
one.
A non-threatening
friendly,
Yes.
peaceful,
White
fast,
one. Fast is
Also,
good.
yes,
I like fast.
is
schooner.
fabulous.
And
Schooner.
pop back up. It's a lot more he's a lot more
Uh-huh.
streamlined, or it's a lot more streamlined.
They?
They are a lot more streamlined. Very much narrow, very sleek. It's like some drunks, sort of lean against the dock. He's like,
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, and I'm done.
and pours
Never
it
And
again.
I'm
out.
done.
Never again.
All right, come on, guys.
Go, Gadget. Schooner.
And Cabbage leads you aboard. There is nobody else on the boat. Just Cabbage.
Not anymore.
Just Cabbage and the crew. Just Cabbage and Cabin. And she goes. She goes up to where the wheel is, and starts to sort of mumble under her breath. But you get a sense that she's talking to Cabin. The ropes tying it to the dock sort of untie and suck back in, and sails unfurl, and Cabin and you all sort of start to very quickly get underway.
So are we actually like using the sails as a form of power,
Oh, no.
or okay, oh, good.
No, it's all
Like we go
it's
like
all for show.
we start going fast.
Not in the harbor, no.
Okay.
No, but as soon as we're outside the speed limit, and once we're out of the parking lot,
Once you are out of
Okay.
the no wake zone, it does start to pick up. And it's not an unreasonable speed, but it is definitely a lot faster than most other ships would
we
be.
need a very prominent white flag.
You hear that? And sort of back behind you sort of unfurls this great big white flag.
I really hope that your culture also associates a white flag with peace and negotiation, and not with like piracy or something.
I don't know many people out on ships, so.
It just occurs to me that this may not be a universal thing.
But they're humans, right? Humans would know.
I don't know where they're from.
None of us are human here. Half elf, half
Half-elf,
elf, halfling. You're dealing with the half crew here.
Hey, the people that are closer to that.
No, we'll see. If they try and kill us, then we know.
All right. So you all
the
are
speed
aboard.
version.
You're aboard Cabin, heading out to the great beyond the great armada, just offshore. Cabbage is with you, and I think that's a good spot to end it for the night. It's a little bit
We
shorter.
just got a chipper.
Oh.
It's a little bit shorter, but we did also have the tech problems to start with, and I just I think it threw off my flow tonight.
it's
Oh, that's
So
good, no?
we will call it there
Plus,
for the
Keith
night.
needs to come up with characters and negotiation
Plus, I need to
terms.
figure out people for you to negotiate with,
Imagine
and
that
what
Keith
might.
didn't anticipate this.
Right, I expected there to be a knockdown drag out in Rosk's office,
That's to be fair.
and I was not prepared for things to go the way they went. So, imagine my surprise that I need to put it off until next week. So, we're going to call it here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys will come back and see us next time we play, which should theoretically be next week at 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Best 10 seconds of my life.
We'll see if you would come and play with us again. All of the video content does wind up on our YouTube channel, so be sure you head over there. Check it out. I will work on getting this one, as well as I'm going to have to do some work on this one to stitch things together. But we will also put up last week's as well, because I missed putting that one up for whatever reason. But you can go out to YouTube. hit like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you'll know when I put those videos out there. You can also check in on our Discord server for a rundown of what our schedule looks like for broadcasting, but it's pretty simple. We play on Monday nights when we are able to, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If we ever have to change that for whatever reason, if we have to delay or postpone or just outright cancel it for whatever reason, we'll let you guys know on Discord. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Come back and see us. And remember,
Grab your bats and grab your balls.
and if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night.
Love you guys.